Welcome, everybody, to the City of Farmers Branch City Council meeting for Tuesday, August 5th. Our first order of business will be our invocation and pledges, so if you would, please rise. Join me in our invocation. Heavenly Father, we ask that you shine your light on this city tonight as we're here to do important work for our community. Help us to remember that we are here to serve others and not ourselves, and that we are here to make decisions that will move our community forward, recognizing that we serve many different people, racially, socially, and economically, with dignity and respect. Give us guidance to look beyond ourselves. We ask that you also shine your light on our police officers, firefighters, and emergency first responders. They too are serving our community without fail, and we ask that you keep them safe. And finally, may the blessings that you have given us be a reminder that serving others is service to you. In Jesus' name we thank you. Amen. If you would, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. This evening we have Councilman Roman, who's not with us in person, but he is zooming in, so he's on the screen joining us. Next up are items of community interest.
Good evening. We have a few items. First, the Stormwater Management Survey. As part of the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality permitting process, the City of Farmers Branch is seeking the public comment on the city's stormwater management program. Your input would also help us improve services, understand community concerns, and protect our local waterways more effectively. Opportunities to submit your comments and feedback include an online survey and public hearing. For more information about the City Stormwater Management Program, visit farmersbranch.tx.gov stormwater. Next, start your weekends fresh and clutter-free. The city invites residents to participate in August Cleanup Saturdays, a convenient opportunity to responsibly dispose of household trash, used cooking oil and grease, and recyclable materials. Dates, August 9th, 16th, 23rd, 30th. Time, from 9 to 11 a.m. Location, Singlac Service Center. For more information, visit the Public Works events webpage at farmersbranchtx.gov 1433. And as always, you can sign up for City e-News at farmersbranchtx.gov or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up are our public comments. I don't have anybody signed up to speak this evening. So seeing none, we will move along to our consent agenda. There is one change on our consent agenda. Item J5 is moving to regular agenda and will be regular agenda item L2. So J5 is becoming L2. Okay.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda item with the modifications that you just indicated.
Mayor, I'll second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. If you would, please indicate your vote accordingly. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Next up is public hearing. Item K1, conduct a public hearing and consider adopting ordinance number 3934, granting a specific use permit for a drive-through restaurant on approximately 0.86 acres located at 4169 LBJ Freeway within Plan Development District number 68, and take appropriate action.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you. And my name is Brett Mangum, the lead planner here with the City of Farmers Branch Planning Department. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you this evening. First case on the public hearing section tonight's agenda is K1. Consider adopting Ordinance 3934, specific use permit at 4169 LBJ Freeway. A little bit of background on the site. This property is just under an acre, or 0.86 acres at 4169 LBJ Freeway. Current zoning on this property is PD 68. The request tonight is for a specific use permit for a restaurant with drive-through, which will be a Starbucks. We've got the site plan up on the screen. This is a high visibility commercial corner currently occupied by a Wendy's. This is considered a drive-through restaurant under the city's land use specifications. Wendy's will be closing this location and the existing building will be renovated and improved and will reopen as a Starbucks, which will also retain the drive-through component. Per the regulations in PD 68, which govern this land, restaurants without a drive-through are allowed by right. However, when you do have the drive-through component, that does require the approval of a specific use permit by City Council. The existing SUP on the site for the Wendy's was granted in January 1993 when that opened. And a little bit more about the subject site. There are a few changes that I did want to point out between the Wendy's and the Starbucks. If you look in the back of the property where the drive-through lane wraps around, there's some additional landscaping that will be replacing 3 spaces which are currently employee parking spaces. So we're taking some of the pervious cover and replacing it with landscape area, which should improve the aesthetics of the site. Also to the south of that, you'll notice there's a splitter island that's being added to better delineate the drive-through traffic and direct it towards the building. There's a total of 7 car lengths between the drive-through board back and then 5 additional spaces for additional cars between the order board and the pickup window. So conservatively, it will hold about 12 cars in the drive-through, possibly more depending on the size of the cars and how tight the spacing is. Again, the existing building will remain in place. The branding will be changed to update to the Starbucks brand. There is a fence that's being added, but it will not be enclosed area. It's just a fenced area in the back for deliveries and so forth. We have reviewed this proposal and found that it meets or exceeds the requirements within PD 68 for both parking as well as for landscaping. The existing driveway points to the site for ingress and egress will all remain in place. There's no changes to that, including the main entrance off of Valley View Lane and westbound LBJ Freeway. I also would like to point out the surrounding developments are largely commercial in nature. There are no single-family or multifamily uses adjacent to the subject site. Looking at the city's long-range plans, we have the Farmers Branch 2045 Comprehensive Plan that was adopted in 2023. It designates this portion of the city as future mixed use. Recommended land uses for items within the mixed use areas are medium to high density residential, office, commercial, small manufacturing, civic, parks, and open space. This proposal is consistent with the comprehensive plan designation of mixed use. As far as our public response, we send out notice in the Dallas Morning News on June 12th. We also sent out letters on June 13th to all property owners surrounding the site within 300 feet, as well as to both school districts. Zoning signs were also posted on the site notifying the public of this request. And as of this evening, we have no written correspondence received in regards to this SUP request, either in opposition or in favor. And with that, that concludes my presentation. We do have representatives here from Starbucks present tonight. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor, for further questions.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. I do not have anybody signed up to speak at this time, so we'll just move right into council questions. Councilwoman Bennett?
No questions.
Councilman Reed?
Nothing for me.
Councilwoman Villafranca?
No questions, but I'm elated. Thank you.
Councilman Neal?
I just want to thank the Starbucks representatives for coming and appreciate them and their opportunity to have you here in our city. Thanks.
Councilman Roman?
No questions. Thank you.
I don't have any questions, obviously. We look forward to having Starbucks in our community. Man, what a great partner. And I imagine with the multifamily development that's right across the street, y'all are going to do quite well just from one piece of property by itself. So thank you for investing in Farmers Branch. So with that, we'll
Mayor.
entertain a motion.
Sir, I was moved to approve ordinance number 3934 as presented.
I second.
Well, let's close the public hearing.
I'm sorry. Move to close the public hearing.
There you go. And,
I'll second.
As
okay. All in favor of closing public hearing? Okay, motion passes. Now,
Okay, we'll try this again. Move to approve ordinance 3934 as presented.
I second.
thank you. We have motion and a second. If you would, please indicate your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Welcome to Farmers Branch again. Okay. Next up is item K2, conduct a public hearing and consider adopting ordinance number 3935 to rezone approximately 2.12 acres of property located at 14,500 Landmark Boulevard from a light industrial zoning district to planned development district number 109 zoning district to allow a multifamily residential development and establish related development standards and take appropriate action.
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, Brett Mangum, lead planner with the Farmers Branch Planning Department. This case is 14500 Landmark Boulevard. This is a request to rezone to a PD for the development of a multifamily development on the site. And PD will also have related development standards that we'll get into. A little bit of background on the subject site. This is somewhat uniquely situated in the periphery of the city. It is also unique in that it's bisected by the city limit line. So you have a total of 6.81 acres altogether. The graphic you see on the screen with the green crosshatch, that's the 2.12 acres that's located within the city of Farmers Branch city limits. That's what tonight's discussion will mainly center around. The remainder, which is about 2/3 of that total acreage, is in the town of Addison. So I do want to point that out at the top. The current zoning on this site is light industrial, and the requested rezoning would be for planned development. In terms of zoning, this would be considered a downzoning, meaning that the allowed uses within light industrial are generally more intensive and potentially more disruptive versus what's being proposed, which would be a multifamily community. This is a good graphic that shows what's on the site now. You can see the western portion that we're going to be looking at currently is home to a 5-level parking garage. And then to the east, where the town of Addison city limits start, there is an office building you see that's kind of the modified O-shaped building on the right. Historically, these two parcels have functioned together, but again, we're just going to be focusing on the portion that's within our city incorporated boundaries. This also kind of shows you how the site is bisected by the city limit line. Tonight's request for PD does include several different components. We'll first be looking at the conceptual site plan. Also included is a landscape plan as well as building elevations, which are shown on the screen. The developer which purchased this property originally is known as the Princeton Building. They initially planned on doing an office to residential conversion and retaining the parking garage to support the residential development. Due to unforeseen constraints, that conversion is now no longer feasible, and the result, the proposal has been modified to demolish that building to the east of the parking garage, the O with the courtyard, and replace that with a new 5-story multifamily building in its place. On the western portion where the parking garage is, that will remain intact, and they will be adding 3 floors on top of the existing parking garage, total of 135 units of multifamily. You can see in this slide, this is the landscape plan. There are a number of modifications to the streetscape and landscape as far as improvements go that we consider enhancements to the aesthetics of the site. There are bulb outs along the eastern portion of Landmark Boulevard, which will better delineate the parallel parking spaces. In addition, the sidewalk, which is currently on the curb right adjacent to the street, will be recessed, and there'll be a landscaped median strip that provides a buffer for pedestrians as they go on that sidewalk, kind of separate them from the traffic and the parked cars. The developer has also indicated, if you've been out to the site, there's some mechanical components on the northwest corner of the site between the parking garage and Landmark Boulevard, and those have been indicated that they will be removed, which staff feels that will be an improvement to the public realm as well. To the south, you can see there's a driveway access point that's just outside of our city limits, but that is a new connection to Landmark Boulevard, which is on the western portion and also wraps around to the southern portion of the site. So that punch out will provide better access to the interior of the site for both pedestrian circulation, connectivity, and fire access as well. We have reviewed this proposal through our Development Review Committee and found that it meets or exceeds the requirements being proposed within the Plan Development 109. And just like the previous case, there are no single-family neighborhoods that are adjacent to this particular site. Looking at our long-range plans, again, the Farmers Branch 2045 Comprehensive Plan designates this quadrant of the city as future mixed use. In our analysis, this proposal is judged to be consistent with the comprehensive plan designation of mixed use. For the public response section, we published notice in the Dallas Morning News on June 12th, and we sent out letters on June 13th to all property owners within 300 feet of the site, as well as Carrollton Farmers Branch ISD and Dallas ISD. Signs have been posted on the site and notifying the public of this request. As of tonight, we have received one correspondence in favor. I do want to point out that is from the property owner, so it's not one of the ones in the 300-foot halo, but rather the property owner itself, but we did receive that. So with that, that will conclude the presentation portion. We do have representatives here for this case in the audience from the development team. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor Lynn.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, this is a public hearing. I don't have anybody signed up to speak to us. So let me ask, would the applicant like to make any statement or add to what was already presented? And if you would, name and address.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, happily. For the record, my name is Daniel Box. I'm a zoning attorney with Winstead PC. Office is located at 2728 North Harwood Street in Dallas. I won't belabor the point. I think the presentation did a good job of summarizing it. We are located right at the city limit. In fact, the property, as was noted, has largely operated across city lines. And so we think that this is quite an appropriate and interesting adaptive reuse of the site. It's currently improved with the 5-story parking garage. We're going to maintain that, make it look nice and pretty, and then put a couple of apartments there at the top, which will function in unison with the site next door. And so I think maybe I'd only point out that we've got railroad adjacency to our immediate east. We've got the tollway basically there to our immediate, excuse me, I flipped that. To our immediate east as the tollway, to the immediate west are the railroad tracks. No single family residential adjacency. So we think this is an attractive and appropriate use for the site. And yeah, we worked with the town of Addison for purposes of utility, first responders. We think we've got that all buttoned up as well. And so we humbly request your support.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm excited about turning a parking garage into something more productive to the city. So thank you. Councilwoman Bennett.
I just want to follow up. So for all of this, this will not be any pull on our resources. It will be Addison that services them because it's such a weird location. And I agree, it's the best use of it. But my concern was, well, how are they going to do this since it's literally on the city line?
Yes, it's a great question. So our conversations with the chief of fire in both cities so far has confirmed that the first responders would be from the city of Addison. Also, the water and wastewater hookups are located currently in the city of Addison, which I think makes sense since it was just a parking garage. There was really no need to pull from from the city of Farmers Branch. So I think the nearest hookups in Farmers Branch are located far across the railroad tracks. So far, all of our conversations have confirmed that Addison will be responsible for those utilities, for those first responders. And we have the companion zoning case there in Addison, and they've given us no pushback on that to date.
Thank you. Councilman Reed?
Yeah, question I have is timelines.
Yeah, so we're going to P&Z in Addison this month on the 19th. And from there, I think city council is supposed to be sometime in September. I couldn't tell you the exact date, but we're almost there.
Okay, and once that gets approved, what are construction timelines?
Oh, goodness. I'll defer to the development team on that. They probably have a better sense. Will.
Hi, I'm Scott Florsham, representing the development. So it's a phased-in approach. Obviously, we've got to first start demo. We are prepared to go to contract to demo upon final approval with Addison. So that's a 6 or 8 month process. At the same time, we'll be going through construction documents and solidifying a plan. So it's a little undefined at this moment, but it's in the foreseeable future.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman
It's a
Villafranca?
great project. Thank you so much. No questions.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Neal?
Real quickly, for Scott, regarding the demolition, you just mentioned to be 6 to 8 months, if approved, obviously. Are you doing like an implosion kind of thing, or are you just tearing it down piece by piece, or?
They'll first go with skid steers and they'll scrape all the floors, get it to a concrete structure, and then they'll start to crunch it. So they'll
Okay.
have to protect the garage, surrounding areas, and they'll
Right,
just bring it down.
I was just curious about remediation of dust and that sort of stuff
Yeah,
to the neighborhood and the
So
community, the
we have a
businesses.
well-known contractor you would be familiar with that's already looking at it, so that's all addressed.
Okay, very good, thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Roman?
No questions on my end. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. With that,
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second the motion.
thank you. We have motion second to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to
Hold on. Wait a
approve.
wait
Oh.
a second.
Oh, we have to vote, sorry. I was so excited to get this approved.
Okay, there we go. Motion passes, public hearing is closed, so now,
Make a motion to approve ordinance 3935.
Second.
thank you. We have motion and a second. If you would, please indicate your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you again for investing in Farmers Branch. And good luck in Addison. All right. Next up is item L1. Consider adopting ordinance 3938, authorizing the issuance and sale of City of Farmers Branch, Texas, general obligation bonds, Series 2025, in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $5,500,000, levying a tax in payment thereof, authorizing the execution and delivery of a bond purchase agreement, a paying agent registrar agreement, and a bond counsel engagement letter approving the official statement and take appropriate action.
All right, Mayor and Council, Ben Williamson, City Manager. I'll be taking care of this presentation tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to share this information with you. This is concluding a journey that started about a year ago, a little over, with the election for general obligation debt by the City of Farmers Branch. This is being included in the budget that you have seen, the proposed budget, and it's going to tie directly to water infrastructure. Again, this is separate from any water rates and discussions. When you look at overall infrastructure for the city, the target that we need to hit is close to $300 million. So this is helping jumpstart that journey and get us on the way. As the water rates kick in, that money will be recovered over time as well to help fund future projects. So the last time you saw these presentations would have been in September of '24, and you heard us talk about the COs and GOs at two separate items, but they were discussed at the same time to talk about the general election and CO bonds that were being issued by the city. You can see the timeline here, not going to go through every line on it, but saying it moves quickly from the time of approval today to actually issuing the debt, getting it into the budget, and getting everything done. This is the slide where we like to spend a couple moments. So again, $5.5 million in general obligation bonds for water infrastructure, things that are very, very important. Last year, we celebrated a first, which was the double AAA rating from S&P and Fitch. Again, that was last year. They had to come back and they had to affirm those ratings. And one of the things we heard as far as feedback goes, one, the rating agencies, there's a lot of unknowns out there right now in the environment, in the economy. What is happening? These rating agencies came back and again affirmed that you as the city council providing the policy direction have put the city on the right path to be considered the possible highest credit rating for a city. So this is a great place to be. It's new territory for us because we haven't been here long, but by maintaining the rating, it shows that you as the council, the budgets, the policies, the financial controls, they see a bright future for Farmers Branch. So it's not just the budget of today when they look at issuing debt and at what rate, but where it's going in the future. And you see some other notes on there as well. Again, great city to buy debt from, low risk. That means we pay lower interest rates, means we save money over time with this as well. So again, this is part of the process and journey to get the debt issued. Any questions? We also have Hilltop Securities here. Marty Shrew is also here as well and can answer technical questions on it. But we're ready for any questions you might have.
Thank you very much, Ben. Councilman Reed?
Nothing for me.
Thank you.
Councilman?
No questions.
Okay, Councilman Roman?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. I do have a question, Ben. So it noted here a maximum 25-year maturity. Most of our debt seems to be on the 20-year scale. So do we know where we're going to fall there?
I can check on that, but typically it is 20 or 25 years for us. Some of it's 5 years. So last year, we also issued some COs for 5 years on the first responder vehicles, the fire trucks and engines that were purchased. But again, it's what's in the market. I believe this one's going to be 25, but we'll check with Marty for sure. If you'd like that, we can get that information for you.
Okay. And do you know what this would push our property tax supported debt to,
As far as
our total number?
the debt rate is maintaining because these were issued
We-
as part, it absorbed rolling off debt, and so
Okay.
we maintained the tax rate. That was
Okay.
very big part of this was maintaining the tax rate. So this is not increasing the tax rate, we're holding the debt portion of the tax rate. Again, with the flat budget as proposed, we're holding the overall tax rate at the same level.
That's very important for folks to know that we're not raising taxes to accommodate this, but we are holding rate. So, okay. This item is marked for action.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve ordinance 3938.
Mayor, I'll second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. If you would, please indicate your vote accordingly. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Next up is item L2, which, as I mentioned earlier, comes from consent agenda, which was J5, and that is to consider approving Resolution 2025-145, authorizing the city manager to execute an economic development incentive agreement with Monotronics International Incorporated and BH Security LLC and take appropriate action.
I'm going to take this one as well. I'm very excited to have our new Deputy Director of Economic Development here because soon I will be able to hand these right over to Darren and have him take care of those. But in the interim, the reason this one was pulled off consent is because we've been in constant communication with Brinks, Monotronics, BH Security LLC, this organization that has called Farmers Branch home for over a decade. The biggest component was making sure they stayed in Farmers Branch. And so we moved forward in form and function with an agreement that shares in what their success is, also is our success, to where 50% of the sales tax that they generate is then reimbursed on a quarterly basis for the foreseeable future. And so with that in mind, Brinks, Monotronics, the many names you know them by, will be staying in Farmers Branch is the goal. We're about 99% there. We've met with different folks. You saw the weekly updates. We met with the folks that help rent the property they're looking at. Everything's falling into place for Brinks that 18 months ago may not have been in Farmers Branch in the future. So credit to the team, the council for giving us that authorization to make sure they stay here. But the next step is saying, council, the terms of the deal aren't changing. There's some legal nuances we need to work out between the two attorneys that are very small and minor in comparison to the journey we've been to. But if the 50% is holding, and that's important, the timeline looks to be extending though. So it looks like the lease is going to be a long-term lease. So we want to capture that relationship for the entire time they're in Farmers Branch and make sure that the next decade, they're also calling Farmers Branch home. So on this one, slight modification is to allow the negotiation and execution of this agreement. We'll work with the attorneys because a couple think they put green lines and not red lines in the agreement. We just want to solve those. But the deal points are all there. And by this approval, it would prevent us from having to wait maybe another month before it comes back to you all, so we can lock this deal in and then celebrate them calling Farmers Branch home for the foreseeable future. So that is where we're at today. The agreement is in a good spot, and so we're just looking as council would modify this to say negotiate. Nicole, any questions or concerns on how we frame that?
No, I think you're good. But if
Okay.
anybody, when you go to make the motion, if you have any questions, just let me know.
Very good. Ben, kudos to you and staff for getting us to this point. I know it's been a lot of hard work to make sure that this business stays in Farmers Branch. So with that,
Oh, I'm going to say one last thing,
Yes.
Mayor Lynn. It's important to note who our counterpart was at Brinks or BH Security LLC, and that's going to be Dinesh Kalwani. He has been our point of contact the whole time with us and has been a fabulous partner representing that company with Farmers Branch to make sure these were successful conversations all the way through. So I want to make sure to give credit where credit is due, which was the other side of the table. Let me reframe that. Same side of the table, working to the set goal that we're both looking forward to.
well, we send him a fruit basket, but thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, Councilwoman Bennett?
No questions.
Councilman Reed?
No questions. I'm just excited that this is finally coming to fruition.
Yep. Councilwoman Villafranca?
No questions, but just a comment. Great job to Ben and his team for all of the work that they do. It's just incredible that you were able to pull this off. Thank you.
Councilman Neal?
Yes, thank you. It's been a long time. I'm glad we've gotten to this point, so thank
Very
you.
good. Councilman Rowland?
No comments, just echo the sentiments of my colleagues.
Very good, thank you. This item is marked for action, so. Motion. Yep.
So do we just approve it as stated?
Now, you would move to approve with the addition of allowing the city manager to negotiate and execute.
I make a motion to approve R 2025-145 with the addition of allowing the city manager to negotiate and execute.
I second.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. If you would, please indicate your vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. All righty. That concludes the regular portion of our city council meeting for this evening. We have business from study session that we did not finish, and we also have executive session items. So right now, we're going to go back to study session right here, so don't anybody leave, and resume with item C5, which is discuss council liaison positions and consider filling vacancies.
Hello again, Mayor, Council, Aaron Flores, City Secretary, Deputy Director of Administrative Services. So today we are going to talk about a couple of vacancies we have for our liaisons. One is for MetroCrest Services, which I know you're all familiar with. Your duties for that would be just attending their meetings, making sure their needs are being met, if there's anything that we as a city could do to help them, and just reporting updates and news. And then we still have a vacancy on our Sister City program, which was requested to be brought back as a future agenda item to discuss if we want to make any amendments to that program, if we make any changes, or if we want to change it at all. And that is all that I have.
Very good. So first things first, MetroCrest Services, very important partner to the city of Farmers Branch. Is there anybody who would like to serve on that?
I would like to be considered to be the liaison for MetroCrest, please.
Okay. Is anybody else?
I would confer, sorry. I'd support Elizabeth in that opportunity.
Okay. Then, So,
I support it.
okay, so we're good with that. Councilman Roman, you good with that?
No thoughts. I'm good.
Okay, so consensus is that Councilwoman Villafranco will be our new liaison to MetroCrest Services. So thank you very much for stepping up.
Thank you.
Okay. And then regarding Sister City program, I don't know if that's,
That's scheduled for the agenda on
yeah.
this meeting, I think.
I'd like, with that, unless there's some objection, I'd like to wait on that, because I think we really need to have discussion of, one, do we continue Sister City in its current form, or do we amend or expand the program? And I think there will be some discussion on that. So before we appoint somebody, we need to really have.
Okay, that's fine. We were just bringing it since we already had another vacancy coming. So, but if you guys want to wait till next meeting, that's fine.
You good with waiting?
Yeah, I would agree unless there's some urgency that we appoint somebody right away. I think it makes sense we can wait till we have that deeper discussion.
Okay.
I think it's scheduled for agenda on August 19th. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yes, economic development will bring it back on that agenda.
Okay. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. Next up is item C7, receive an update from the mayor and council members regarding board liaison information from outside organizations and other meetings attended. Councilman Bennett? Councilman Reed?
Just the Bluegrass Festival. We had the pleasure of attending that this past weekend. It was sold out, which was great. The music was fantastic. Everyone I saw that was there had a wonderful time. People enjoyed the new venue, the new structure that we have set up, holding it at the DoubleTree. So all in all, I think the event was a huge success.
Very good, thank you. Councilwoman?
Yes, thank you. I had the opportunity to attend the Texas Municipal League Conference for newly elected officials in San Antonio, and it was wonderful, wonderful use of my time. I learned a lot. I'm really grateful to have been able to attend. I also attended, I was invited as a guest, I think we were all invited to a presentation by Dr. Jeffrey Rouse on sort of on building density and just a lot of really interesting topics, and I appreciated that a lot. I was in Atlanta on the week of July 21st for NALEO, which is the National Association for Latino Elected Officials, and I was able to make connections with a lot of people throughout the country. I learned a lot, and it was wonderful. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can so that I can be the best servant to all of you, and it really is exciting for me. I went to the Envision Employee Appreciation event. I was there with Mayor Lynn, and it was just really wonderful. I just want to shout out to two of our guests that are here from Envision tonight. If you have not heard of Envision, you really have to learn as much as you can about it. They're a treasure right in our own city. They employ the blind and near blind, and they're just about to open a new daycare for 0 to 5, and half of the children will be sighted and the other half will be either blind or visually impaired. And what a wonderful way to teach your children how to get along with everybody. And I'm so, they're open houses this week. I think it's on Thursday. I highly, highly recommend it. And now I know why the mayor really enjoys being at the shredding and electronics recycling events. I had the opportunity to be there, and I had so much fun. I got to spend time with his kids and public works people and Ray and his team, and had a great time. We attended the Citizen Police Academy alumni meeting. Lots of great things going on. The Citizen Police Academy will be coming very soon. If you've not done it yet, I highly, highly recommend it. You learn how to be a better citizen, better resident, and you have a lot of fun and make new friends. So I highly recommend it. I also had the opportunity to attend the MetroCrest Topaz Talks happy hour over at Bankhead. And I just cannot tell you, if you are not a member of MetroCrest Chamber yet, run. They are doing so many great things. I met so many wonderful people, had a lot of fun, was able to, brag about the city, and it was just a lot of fun. I also had the opportunity, the mayor and I were on a Zoom call with the North Texas Commission, a regional briefing for newly elected officials, and a lot of great information. They actually shared a PowerPoint with us that we're happy to share. Lots of great things going on in North Texas. It's just unbelievable. July 30th, I think, marked the last day of National Parks and Rec Month. And I was lucky enough to attend the park picnic with Councilman Roger Neal over at the Farmers Branch Park. And I know I always brag about Parks and Rec, but Robert and his team do a phenomenal job. And it was a lot of fun, great food, and just fun to hang out with everybody in the city. July 31st was the kickoff for Restaurant Week. KRLD was here in the city, and I was lucky enough to run over to At Fault and spend some time and talk to everybody there. So it was really a nice event. I was also able to attend the Bluegrass Festival. I attended last year, but this year I really became the fan. I loved the venue. It was so intimate. I was there with fellow council members, Roger and David and the mayor, and it was just really, really nice. I'm an official fan of Bluegrass. This past Saturday, I was able to attend the Citizen Police Academy alumni of North Texas, and it was over at the Richardson Police Department, and it was just eye-opening, all of the things that other communities are doing, and I hope to be able to bring some of them here into our city. Thank you.
Thank you. You've been busy, so thank you for being here tonight. Councilman Neal.
Yeah, I think she mentioned several of the things that I also attended. In addition to that, I had a meeting with representatives from Firehouse Theater. That's really the only one I want to add at this point.
Very good. Thank you. Councilman Roman?
I'm good, thank you.
All righty. So I want to report that our ongoing meetings with DART have been continuing, and myself and our city manager were invited to a meeting in Carrollton that that Carrollton requested of DART, and in attendance were also the mayor of Irving, who is also a board member, as well as the Carrollton appointed board member of DART, and then several representatives of DART. And as we continue to work through our discussions, it's important that we keep dialogue moving forward. And one of the key points about DART, and we'll probably get into this at another meeting, but mass transit is very important to our region. And I think everybody here is supportive of mass transit, but we're also supportive of being good stewards of our tax dollars. And so we want to make sure that if we're spending or committing to spend our tax dollars, that we have representation and we're able to speak to the spending of those tax dollars. And that's not something that's always the case. And so the governance of DART is an issue, and board seats are an issue, and service and delivery are issues and whatnot. And so we're trying to have those discussions with DART. It's a very complicated animal, but as long as the parties are all coming to the table and talking, I think that at some point we'll find a way to work through all of this. So that's all I'm going to say about that at this point. If anybody has specific questions about DART, they can certainly ask me. We're continuing to work within the framework that was voted upon by this council, which was the resolution to reduce our contribution to DART for services provided by 1/4 cent. New to this whole discussion is City of Garland, who has now come in on this same issue. So there are 6 cities that have expressed interest to lower their contribution to DART, and there will be additional meetings coming up shortly. We had a board and commission meeting, and all of our boards came in to give updates on where they were, things that they're working on, and things that they'd like to do in the future. Always very informative. I will always continue to say our boards and commissions are only as good as the direction that they receive from City Council, because they serve at the pleasure of the council. So it's very important that council provide feedback and ask good questions. And if board members have questions about the direction the way council is going, then they are free to ask any of us. But we need to make sure that they are working in concert with us to support the things that we're interested in and do research and legwork of things that we don't necessarily have time to do. So very important. Friday Franks was a big hit at the Branch Connection. If anybody had hot dogs, I cooked the hot dogs, so nobody's died, so I think that's a good thing. Nobody got sick. I attended a mayor's meeting in Louisville. We have two mayor's groups. One is the Metroplex Mayors Association, which is like 33 cities, I believe, in Dallas County that are represented at a monthly Metroplex Mayors Breakfast. And then there's a small group that started out with Addison, Carrollton, Coppell, and Farmers Branch that meets monthly, but that has grown to include Irving and Louisville. And it's really, really good that we get together and talk about things on maybe a more neighborhood level, because we touch these other cities and they touch us. And so our interaction is much closer with everybody in that group, except Louisville, but they're an important key player through Denton County Transit Authority. So it's great to hear about things that are happening in their communities and how they're managing them and how we can improve our working relationship. So that's something that I'll continue to keep you apprised of. Pickleball. Pickleball was in Carrollton, and MLP, which will be coming to Brookhaven Country Club in late October and November, they had a small tournament in Carrollton a week and a half ago, very well attended, and it was fun to watch it, certainly getting the excitement going. The format was a little bit different. It was team pickleball. So there's actually a Dallas team, and there were other cities that were competing as teams, not just individual competition. As Councilwoman Villafranca mentioned, we had our shredding, free document shredding and electronic recycling event. Thank you to everybody who came, because all the shredding that was done and brought here was material that's not ending up in our landfill. All the electronics that were recycled, and there were a lot that were brought, are not going into the landfill. And that's so important as we try to save and extend the life of our landfill. So thank everybody for participating in that. The North Texas Commission had a meeting of its subcommittee, which is a North Texas Gaming Commission. And this is a group that was put together. There's about close to 40 people in this committee studying the pros and cons of destination gaming. And at the meeting last week, there was discussion about other types of gaming other than destination gaming. For example, card rooms. Card rooms are here. And there seems to be some debate whether it's legal or not. They are operating not only in Dallas, but in other cities throughout Texas. And the legislature has not stopped them. But that is a form of gambling. So it's here. I believe there's a new one that's going to open up in Irving. And it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays into the overall impact of destination gambling, which is big casino, big convention center attached, big hotel, and where this ends up being in the state. I think it's a matter of time before it gets here, probably 10 years or so, but the dollars are just so big, more than likely it will get here. This committee that I'm on, we're not necessarily for it or against it. We're just trying to decipher information so we can come back and report as we learn more about it. But one of the members of the committee, interestingly enough, the Sands Casino in Las Vegas, his family used to own that before they sold it to the Sands. So this guy knows gaming very, very well, knows casino operations, and is like the resident expert. But we have people on the other side also who are adamantly opposed to that, to any type of gambling in Texas. And so it's sort of interesting to sit there and watch a tennis match going on because you got pro and con in the same room, but yet it's respectful dialogue and everybody's getting along, and both sides, pro and con, are getting presented as we work through this. Farmers Branch Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association, as Councilman mentioned, we were at that meeting. I had a individual who wanted to make a donation of some firearms to the police department. He's moving into a senior care facility, can't take firearms with him. And so rather than give them to the police department where they would get destroyed, one of these was a brand new Beretta 9mm that's never been fired. I said, let me take these and we will use them as raffle items for the Alumni Association. So we're going to be doing that, and it's a great way for the Alumni Association to raise some money and then donate those proceeds back to the police department. So that's exciting. I did want to mention that I had a visit by a Ranchview, or excuse me, Creekview student. Yeah, which high school? Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. That's right. Came and met with me. I know I'm going to not say your name right, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time, but Charan Gopinath. Is that close? Okay. He's going to be a junior. Called me and wanted to sit down and have a meeting with the mayor. And we sat right here for an hour or so, and he just fired away questions. And kudos to you for having enough gumption to do that and call me. I'll meet with anybody. But the questions that you asked were really good. You really made me think. And so I was very impressed. And I said, hey, you should come back and watch a city council meeting sometime. And lo and behold, he's here tonight. So I applaud you.
What was the school again? What was the school again?
It's North Hills. Up, yeah. What was North Hills Academy at Royal and Riverside, MacArthur? It's right on our border. Okay. I'm wrapping up. So we had new business that moved into Farmers Branch. Well Done Health had their grand opening, so congratulations to them. The Dallas Regional Mobility Coalition had their meeting on Friday, and as I always do, I asked Cecil Clements, who is the project engineer for I-35 Phase 1 and 2, how are we coming? Are we on schedule or what? Well, the project is a little bit behind schedule, probably a little more than 6 months behind schedule at this point. Not necessarily because of weather, but her words were that they didn't have enough workers out there. So if you know anybody who wants a job working for a construction company, Lone Star Contractors or Constructors could probably use some additional help. And we need to get this roadway finished. But it's going to be really nice when it is finished. In addition, we had State Comptroller Kelly Hancock, who was on with us talking about highway programs and things that are occurring in the legislature and how that's going to impact North Texas. There are $2.1 billion of highway projects going on right now in our region. That's a lot. And that number is projected to grow next year. So as more people are coming here every day, the need for better roadways, better transportation, mass transportation, et cetera, continue to grow. And so we have to learn about this. And these meetings, they are open to the public, and I would encourage folks to come. Yesterday, we had First Monday breakfast at the Branch Connection. It rained early in the morning. It wasn't raining when we had breakfast, but it rained, so attendance was down a little bit. But that is such a good event. Deborah Cruzart, Deborah Hull, thank you all for doing what you do and serving folks when they come, because everybody who shows up really appreciates it. So thank you. And then lastly, the city manager and I had a meeting with the folks that manage the Park West building, which is over on the west side. They're trying to keep a client, a tenant in that building, and they wanted to visit with us to explore options. And so I learned a lot listening to the city manager talk about how the city handles incentives. And so I really appreciate that, and I hope that they're able to do their job moving forward. So that's all I have. Next, item C8, review and discuss future agenda items. Councilwoman Bennett. Oh, no, he already went. Councilman Reed.
Mayor, I'd like to propose an agenda item to discuss the implementation of Penal Code 30.07 for all city buildings.
Thank you. And noted. Councilwoman Villafranca.
Nothing at this time.
Councilman Neal.
Nothing, Mayor. Thanks.
Councilman Roman.
Yeah, I'd like to request an executive session to discuss DART and see if we can also have a DART representative join us.
Do we need to define that more?
We can get clarification from him.
Councilman, can you be a little bit more specific on what it is that would warrant executive session?
Say that again, you sounded a little muffled.
Can you be more specific on why that discussion would be an executive session item?
I understand that they have something that they'd like for us to consider, and we have a deadline to discuss that. So I want to make sure that we're proactive in having that discussion early on, and then figuring out what's next with our partnership with them. Is that specific enough, Nicole?
Not really, but I think what we could probably do is we can have a discussion with CMO and get some clarification. It may or may not warrant executive session, but we can always
Okay.
get further clarification.
Okay, cool.
All right. Anything else, Councilman? Anything else?
Sorry about that. No, I'm good. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. I have one item, and that is I would like to have a discussion regarding council meetings, member meetings, and making reports back to council. If you're having a meeting with the city manager and going to an outside organization or something, then and conducting city business, then you need to make a report on that. And I'd like us to have a discussion regarding that.
I wonder if that's something that we could, because we're still talking about rules of procedure? If maybe
That
was
would
it-
fall
would
under that, yes.
Okay, so we'll add that to our draft
Okay,
currently.
yeah.
And then we'll bring that up when we bring the rules back.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that concludes our study session. We still have executive session items to finish up on. So we're going to adjourn this meeting, go back to executive session, and then pending the need for, well, we will be coming out to announce whether there's any action as a result of executive session or not. So we'll take a 10-minute break before we go back into executive session. So thank you all very much for attending, and we will be back in a little bit. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us. We do not have any action to take as a result of executive session this evening. So with that, we will adjourn our council meeting at 8:41. Thank you.